Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be going over oogenesis, which is IB Biology topic 11.4. So oogenesis all starts with primordial cells during fetal development. So this is the prenatal development in the ovaries. So oogenesis occurs in the ovaries and we have these cells called primordial cells, and what happens is they undergo mitosis and duplicate. So many of them form, and we call these cells oogonia. Now, these oogonia are the germline epithelium cells, similar to the spermatogonia. So you got to remember the onia part, right? So that part is going to be referring to these germline epithelial cells. And generally, these cells grow in size and form cytes. They form cytes. So primary oocytes are formed when oogonia grow, and these primary oocytes are capable of meiosis. You may recall meiosis has two divisions, and it's a process by which the nuclei of sex cells or gametes are duplicated, right? So primary oocytes undergo meiosis. Maybe not duplicated, but divide, sorry. Yeah. And primary oocytes, this is still in the prenatal development. So this is still in the stage of a fetus, right? All this happening. We actually stop at prophase 1. So that means that we don't go to prophase 2, metaphase 1, metaphase 2, anaphase 1, none of that, right? We stop at prophase 1, and that's that for fetal development. Next, we have to wait till the girl is born, and there's puberty. During puberty, we have a part of the body called the pituitary gland, which releases something called FSH. FSH stands for follicle stimulating hormone, and what it does is it actually triggers the completion of meiosis 1. So we had stopped at prophase 1, but now we have metaphase 1, anaphase 1, and telophase 1, as well as cytokinesis completed with this oocyte. And with that, we have a secondary oocyte and a polar body forming. If you're wondering, a secondary oocyte contains majority of the cytoplasmic volume and much of the cell's contents, whereas a polar body is a smaller reservoir for chromosomes that'll eventually be degenerated. Next, the secondary oocyte starts meiosis 2. This is all happening during puberty, and it actually stops as metaphase 2. This is when we remember how I said we're previously at the ovaries? Well, if you look at the structure of the ovaries, it's something like this, right? It's like a sac at the end, and we have the fallopian tubes. What happens is this metaphase 2 or secondary oocyte is actually going to be released out of the fallopian tubes, and it'll be somewhere here when it might actually reach a sperm. So just to recap, we have the secondary oocyte, which underwent meiosis 2 and stopped at metaphase 2. And it underwent ovulation, where it was released from the ovary and went along the fallopian tubes. Fallopian tubes are also called the oviduct sometimes. And what happens to the secondary oocyte in the oviduct is usually, if there's sperm there, it'll meet usually in the fallopian tube or the oviduct. So sperm and egg generally meet in the fallopian tubes, and what happens is they can fuse together, but the nuclei won't fuse yet. But with the fertilization of the sperm, meiosis 2 is completed, right? With meiosis 2 being completed, we have this structure called the ovum forming, right? And the ovum then has nucleus fusion, right? A combination of genetic material from the sperm and the egg. And that's how we get a zygote formed completely. So in this video we went from primordial cells which underwent mitosis to form oogonia which grew to make primary oocytes which underwent meiosis, and stopped at prophase 1 until birth, and then puberty at around the age of 13 where FSH is released and meiosis 1 is complete. We get a secondary oocyte, we get a polar body. Meiosis 2 occurs with the secondary oocyte, and we stop in metaphase 2. We ovulate and send the secondary oocyte out of the ovary and into the oviduct, where it may be fertilized by sperm. Meiosis 2 is complete. We form an ovum, the nuclei fusion, and we get a zygote. Also, something you might want to note is that this polar body itself can also undergo meiosis too and form two other polar bodies. I mean two polar bodies. And also this completion of meiosis II also results in another polar body. So you get 3 polar bodies total, and these are useful later on. Anyways guys, that's going to be the end of the video. That's covering 11.4 IB Biology Oogenesis. If you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe, or comment down below any IB Biology topics you want me to cover. I'll happily do it for you. And this is Learnify signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.